Well, hello and welcome back to another live stream in this Maserati F1 Manager series, and a pretty exciting one because we have the season finale today. This is the last race of the 2025 season, 20 race season. This is race 20 in Brazil, and there's plenty going on which we'll get into shortly, but I hope you're all doing well. Hope you've had a good week. Ready for the weekend, ready for some more Formula 1 action. Poll up on YouTube there as well if you're watching on YouTube. And that's all around Monaco with this mandatory 2-stop for this weekend. Is that a good idea? Let me know. Have a vote on the poll. But yeah, looking forward to some Formula 1 action this weekend. But this race in particular in our Maserati series, very exciting. Not necessarily for our two drivers. As you see, Colapinto has qualified P16. Maloney, if you're following the series, you'll know his gearbox problematic at the minute, so he's just trying to finish at least 18th to get the sponsorship objective. Colapinto will try and fight for points. But the World Driver Championship will be decided today. So George Russell, before Mexico, the last race, was leading by 6 points. There was a big swing in points. Max Verstappen now leads by 7 points. But somehow, Max got a load of traffic in Brazil qualifying, and he's qualified dead last. George Russell has put it on pole. So George Russell needs to win the race. He's on pole. Max Verstappen will now have to finish. If Russell wins the race, Verstappen needs to finish P2. And Verstappen is starting dead last in this one. So lots of work for Max to do. There's also a fight for P2 in the Constructors. That's between McLaren, Mercedes and Red Bull. There's about 19 points between those. So lots going on in this final race. Not so much, as I say, for our drivers. But yeah, we'll see how we go. But as always, if you're jumping in, like what you see, do smash that like button. If you're not already, like F1 Manager, like Formula 1 content in general, do follow or subscribe. But let's crack on then and start this final race of the 2025 season in Brazil.
Well then, it's not long until we get started here, and we should be in for a tightly contested race.
So yeah, Max Verstappen got a great shot, well, had a great chance to win the Drivers' Championship. He's clawed back George Russell. He now leads the championship, but starting last in this one, whilst George Russell is on pole. So this can be very interesting indeed, as Russell is going to get us underway then. Held for a little while, but Russell does get us underway. Colapinto, as I said, start P16, Maloney P20. But if I can just very briefly pause this. So as you can see here, well, this is as it stands. But before this, if you take the 25 points away, Max Verstappen actually had a 7-point lead. So George Russell winning this race would claim the Drivers' Championship. So Max has got to fight back from last to try and get to P2 if George is going to win this race. And as I say, lots going on in the Constructors as well. Very tight. So we're going to be monitoring those battles as this race goes on today. So this is going to be very interesting. Brazil, always a chance to things to be mixed up as well. Safety cars, weather. We're not going to have the weather today, but certainly safety cars. So let's see how we go. But Franco, P16 then. See if we can get him up into the points. Looks like it might be a bit more of a struggle today. Hadjar's got some damage though. And Russell will just be hoping that he can lead away the pack and have a comfortable afternoon and claim his first World Drivers' Championship here. Russell on the mediums. Max starting last is on the mediums. But yeah, Max, normally very good from Max Verstappen. And in the race that he really needed a good result in qualifying, somehow lots of traffic and qualifies last. British Beauty, thanks for the follow. Mathilde, thanks for the follow. Much appreciated. Hope you're well. Maloney is up to B18 though. He's challenging Ocon ahead of him. And Colapinto is having a bit of a run here at Nico Hulkenberg. Hulkenberg nearly a second off Hadjar. Doesn't look like Colapinto's going to be able to get past him. Hulkenberg is on the mediums though, so we do want to think about getting past him pretty quickly. Meg, thanks for the follow. Much appreciated. It's Ocon back past Maloney. Can Colapinto have a go? No. Hulkenberg did just pick up DRS. And we can't quite make that work. So a bit of a frustrating start there for Franco. Russell still leads. A couple of attempts in it to Piastri. So a long way to go. Max Verstappen, though, still dead last. And the problem is he's already 10 seconds off the lead, is Max. So Max Verstappen, I think, already is going to need some safety cars and a bit of luck if he's going to try and win the Drivers' Championship this year. It is very much advantage to George Russell as it stands. And Tosca, thanks for the follow. Might have butchered that, but I appreciate the follow. And Colapinto has finally dispatched Hulkenberg, but we've used a lot of battery now. And we're now on to Hadjar. Let's have a look at the tyres. So we've got Lawson up here on the hards. We do need to go a bit conservative now on this stint. So yeah, I'm not sure we're really going to have the pace around here today, but we'll see. Ocon and Maloney continue their fight. But yeah, as I say, I do have poll on YouTube, but of course we are streaming on TikTok and Twitch. So let me know in actual Formula 1 this weekend, of course, in Monaco. And as we know, last few years, been a little bit... Well, Monaco, I think, can either go two ways. It can deliver quite poor, boring races. I still think it's a great track to watch cars go around, especially qualifying. Or the races can actually be quite chaotic and interesting. But because overtaking is so difficult there with the modern cars, of course, they have a mandatory two-stopper this weekend for Sunday's race, and that is whether it's dry or wet. So let me know in the comments, do you think that's a good idea or not? Lots of talk that people might try some very interesting strategies, like a lap one stop. So it definitely is going to spice things up. But will it actually make a change or not? That's going to be the interesting thing for me in Monaco. And I still think, you know, even with that mandatory two-stop at Monaco, it's all important Saturday in Monaco.
Yeah, keep doing your best.
We've actually seen this year on most tracks, if you can put it on pole, you've got a great chance of winning, and that's tenfold in Monaco. So yeah, let me know, is it a good idea, the Monaco two-stop? And also, let me know your top three for qualifying tomorrow in Monaco.
Doing a good job there.
Maloney continues to battle with Ocon and Doohan. And in terms of strategy, Colapinto, we are trying to go to lap 23. It might be a little bit earlier than that because we used a bit of tyre life early on there. And Maloney lap 24, so very similar in terms of stops, but they are on different strategies. Of course, Colapinto on the soft, Maloney on the medium. Russell still leads, but Leclerc is keeping him very honest. So honest that Leclerc might actually take the lead of this race into turn one. Charles Leclerc, I think he's just given DRS to George Russell, though. If he has, George's got a great chance to keep this position. Yet George's DRS opens up. And George should remain in P1 then. Hi, thanks for the follow. Hi. Norris cut adrift by 2 seconds.
No problem, no problem.
Verstappen has got past Maloney as Maloney loses 2 positions here.
The opportunity's there.
So Doohan back past. And there goes Verstappen as well. As I say, Maloney has got a bit of a... Well, not a bit of. He's got a very poor gearbox in this car. So he's going to have a sluggish race. It's just about what we can do with Colapinto here today. Max Verstappen then is making some overtakes, but it's very slow, the pace. Adele, thanks for the follow. Ricardo, thanks for the follow. Hope you're both well on this Friday. So as I say, Max Verstappen has a 7-point lead going into this final race of the season, but he has qualified dead last. George Russell, the man who is 7 points behind, has put it on pole. So if Russell wins, Verstappen needs at least P2, and he's currently P19. So lots of work for Verstappen to do. We'll keep jumping into the standings as they stand, but we're only 6 laps in, so we know as it stands, Russell would become the World Drivers' Champion. Verstappen needs Russell to go backwards, and Verstappen needs himself to go forwards. And talking going forwards, Colapinto wants to be getting onto Lawson and Hadjar, not going backwards into the grasp of Nico Hulkenberg. Of course, if you're watching this on TikTok or Twitch, do head to my profile. In the profile, in my bio, you'll find our YouTube channel, and we have more F1 Manager content. So on TikTok and Twitch, we just have the streams, but we have all our series over on YouTube as well. And we're about to drop a new series, which will just be exclusive to YouTube, which is Flip the Grid. So putting the best drivers, so from the constructors order last year, so Lando Norris and Oscar Piastri, they go into the Kick Sauber, and Nico Hülkenberg and Bortoleto go into the McLaren. The two Ferrari drivers, for example, Hamilton and Leclerc, go into the Williams. Albon and Sainz go into the Ferrari. So it's Flip the Grid. It's one season only, and that will be dropping very soon on YouTube. So go and check that out. Okay, thanks for the give, much appreciated. It's got a yellow flag, and it's Hülkenberg there. I think we saw just behind us. He was challenging Colapinto, and he's lost the rear end.
So sorry about that, guys.
And bad news for Hülkenberg. Good news for Colapinto, though. Relieves a bit of pressure off his rear wing and gearbox. And that's not going to be great for Hülkenberg's tyres. Yellows, thanks for the follow. Much appreciated. And if you're jumping into the stream, if you haven't already, do smash that like button. Super appreciated. It really does help me out. So Colapinto just staying in the DRS of the two RBs. Tyre life not too bad. Hadjar's using a lot of tyre life. Got another yellow flag. It's Carlos Sainz this time. I think we just saw him on the outskirts there. We should get a replay of that. So that's another position for Colapinto. Carlos Sainz has had a spin. Takes a bit of curb and then just loses it. Oh, keeps it out of the barrier though. Yuki low-key Adele, yeah. So Colapinto up to P14, Sainz is down, so that does mean Verstappen's got up to P16. Verstappen is edging towards the points, but the problem for him is Russell is currently winning. Verstappen needs to get to P2 if he wants to win this championship. 8 laps gone, that's gone by pretty quickly here. So I just want to look at tyres, so 74, yeah, Hadjar will be in before us. As the two RBs are fighting again. Is that going to open up the inside for a double overtake? No. Will we get one of them here? Colapinto had the inside. He'll be outside now. He's not going to hold on to it, but he will get some DRS, but so will Lawson. Can we get some slipstream off Hadjar? We're still on the inside. We've got Max Verstappen lurking behind us, but this is bad news for Max. He's caught up in this traffic. Colapinto forces out Liam Lawson. That could open the door for Max Verstappen. Helping Max out there is Franco Colapinto. Can Max now get past Lawson? Got to go the long way round here, but Max Verstappen, I think, is going to get that done. Have a look at this replay. I don't know if we'll see it, but we do force Lawson out wide here. Don't quite see it, but we run Lawson out of road, and that has opened the door for Max Verstappen. We're, of course, not fighting Max here, so if Max does get past Lawson, but Max has not. Lawson has held on to that. So good work, actually, from Liam Lawson. But here comes Max Verstappen again behind us, and this time, Max sends it, surprising Lawson, and Max is through to P14. So Colapinto has Max coming at him, but again, we're not fighting Max. So Max needs to get rid of ourselves and Hadjar, because it's then 4 seconds to Gasly. Max is 16 seconds off the lead of this race. So Max Verstappen still a chance to win this championship. And here he comes. He's gone out very wide there. We've got the inside on Hadjar. Max has got the outside. Hadjar in a sandwich there. Max Verstappen, the traction out of there, though. He's absolutely flying as Verstappen. And we've got no DRS, so Max Verstappen should now clear this traffic. And that was absolutely a great work from Max Verstappen, to be fair. He went so wide here and got a bit of a slingshot. Just got such good traction out of here.
And Verstappen says thank you.
Sian, thanks for the follow, much appreciated. Right, so Verstappen has cleared the traffic. That's what he needed to do. And he's now up to 12th. Russell's now P2. So This is the final race of the season. As it stands, Russell will be world champion by 11 points. Constructors, Mercedes would finish P2, McLaren would jump to P3, a Red Bull P4. But that's all going to change once Max gets into the points. So 10 laps gone, Russell reclaims the lead, but Verstappen now on a charge. And this is going to go right to the wire, this race and championship. Colapinto has got Hadjar coming back at him now. Of course, Colapinto's got no DRS, so this is going to be difficult. Colapinto to hold on to. And here comes Isaac Hadjar. We kind of want us to get the DRS here, but I think we're going to give the second DRS to Hadjar as well. We do indeed. Hadjar's got a chance on the inside then. Oh, and that's why we don't want to be out there because we're going to lose more than one position. And we do. We're forced out this time. And we lose out to Ocon. We have got better tyre life than these two soft runners around here though, so we should be good on them. They'll get an aggressive undercut on us. But we'll be better in our middle and certainly our final stints. Maloney P17, the aim for him is P18, as we've got a lock up there, and we've got Bortoletto out of the race, and we've got a virtual safety car. Oh, do I go on that? Quite early here. I'm going to switch both our drivers onto a hard straight away here.
VSC.
Bortoletto has crashed out. It's a VSC. And we're going to try and get... Oh, it's just completely locked. Oh, I don't know what's... The game is absolutely glitched out there. Don't know what happened, Bortoletto, but unlucky. Hard tyres not the best round here, but I feel it's worth a little bit of a gamble here. Because we don't know if we're going to get another safety car or not. So Colapinto is coming into the pit. So is Maloney. Maloney might lose a bit of time here. Yeah, Maloney might lose a second or two here, but he'll gain. Oh, why are they just holding him? Oh no, chat, what's going on? Oh my god, what is it doing?
Now down to the pits.
Colapinto's had a pit stop issue, and that has actually just negated the whole gain that we would have got there for both drivers. Ah, the pit crew. You can always count on this Maserati pit crew to throw a slow stop in there. And whatever we would have gained there has probably been lost. Which is not ideal. Right, bear with me, chat, because I just need to sort out this stint now. Alright, go for that with Colapinto. It's going to be similar for Maloney. Bear with me as we just sort this out. Three, yes. Okay, yeah, unfortunately there, due to that slow stop, that's probably just eliminated the advantage we would have got under the virtual there, but we'll see. We'll see how we go. The virtual should end shortly. Of course, what we don't want now is a safety car of any form, because that will just absolutely throw out what we've tried to do here. Right, virtual safety car is ending. Let's get these tyres up to temp.
Yeah.
So we're 22 seconds off the pack here, and the pit stop loss is 22 seconds. So yeah, we've lost a lot of time there.
More push.
A green flag though. We're back underway.
DRS enabled.
Let's just get these tyres up to temp. And if you're jumping in for the first time, we normally watch most of the action, but I will do a bit of forwarding here because we're 24 seconds off the pack. So I'll just wait until we see some pit stops, which should be Carlos Sainz coming in very soon, as well as probably Hadjar. Ideally, we probably want Sainz to stay out for another lap or two here because we need to start to pump in some quicker laps than him. If not, he might come out in front of us. So let's just wait and see if Sainz is going to come in at the end of this lap.
Yep.
Ideally not. Carlos Sainz, he does pit. That's not great for us.
No,
Hopefully we should be ahead of him though. Colapinto. Yeah, Colapinto should clear him. Alright, Carlos Sainz then into the pits, sorry. Colapinto coming past now. That's a pretty good stop though, and you do cut this first corner. We should be past him though. I'm not sure Maloney's going to get him though. Colapinto's cleared Sainz, but Sainz was behind us anyway, and Maloney's not, so I think that has shown that's not really worked for us there, but it's worth a gamble where we are today. It is worth a gamble. Malcolm, thanks for the follow. Hope you're well. Verstappen up to P12, but still George Russell leading this race. And Maloney's 2 seconds off Sainz. Sainz is 2 seconds off Colapinto. He's on the mediums and he's going quicker. So Sainz is going to catch up to Colapinto very quickly here. And here he is. So Carlos Sainz started on the softs, I believe. Tyre history, Sainz. Yeah, no, Sainz has gone mediums. So Sainz gone medium, so he will need to put a soft or hard on at some point. Who said hard on? Not me. There he goes, Carlos Sainz on the inside. Colapinto trying to fight it. But with Sainz on those mediums, you've got to expect Sainz to be quicker than us at this stage. Colapinto does hold on for now. Probably not worth fighting too hard, but Sainz is massively out wide there. Anthony, thanks for the follow. Isabel, thanks for the follow. Russell and Leclerc continued their battle. We've probably got Hadjar coming in. Maybe it'll be next lap now, Hadjar. So it's 20... What was the pit loss there? 23 seconds. So 56, 53... 52. Yeah, we're right on Hadjar now. So I think we would jump up to Hadjar and Ocon if they all box now. I think it'll be pretty tight. But we should come back out where we were in that P13 range now. Well, that is with losing 8 seconds in the pit stop. So if we wouldn't have had that 8-second loss, we'd come out ahead of Ocon and Hadjar and have 8 seconds on them, plus where we are now with Sainz. So the pit crew is causing this battle with Sainz. We shouldn't have been in a battle with Sainz. But we certainly are. And Carlos Sainz, we saw this last lap. Colapinto doesn't want to give it up. Sainz's tyres, he's already got them down to 91%. So again, Sainz really using and abusing his medium tyres. You viewed, hello buddy. Wendy, this is going to be a rough race. Let's wait and see, Wendy. Let's wait and see. Still chance. Brazil can always be a few safety cars and virtuals. But it's going to be an exciting race because Verstappen is fighting for the World Championship with Russell, and we've got a fight for P2 in the Constructors. So even if our drivers don't do too well, we're not really fighting for anything today. So let's wait and see. But Carlos Sainz got another chance. Hadjar's into the pit, so we should be jumping Isaac here. Franco Colapinto's got that Spaniard, another Williams. We've had Williams in our rear wing and in our front visor most of this season. And there go Carlos Sainz. We're still trying to fight it. Hadjar's about to come out of the pits. He's going to be pretty close, actually, to this. He's going to be very close. In fact, he's just about going to jump us, but he's not going to have much speed or temperature into those tyres. But again, that's bad news that Hadjar has, in fact, jumped us. So... And he's on the hard. So, yeah, not working great at this phase. But let's just wait and see what we can do. But yeah, lap 18 of 71. Long way to go. But yeah, in terms of the Monaco weekend, I am quite intrigued to see how this two-stop is going to work. As I say, there's quite a few people saying about cars might come in end of lap 1. I don't necessarily agree with that because, although, yes, you've got to stop again, but why don't you do that normally at Monaco? You know, maybe not lap 1, but come in lap 5 and then go all the way to the end. So I think it's going to be interesting. Going to be very interesting this weekend. Let's say it's all about Saturday. Whoever puts that on pole, I think even with 2 stops, great chance of winning the race. I guess the only problem would be if Max Verstappen puts it on pole. That could be interesting. Yeah, so Max Verstappen, just thinking that out in my head, was... well, Red Bull, I guess, not Max Verstappen, but he's... told me this season, it's been him on his own. He's not had Yuki there to support him. So I guess the only problem with that is if Max puts it on pole and he's got Oscar Piastri and Norris second and third, McLaren, with a mandatory 2-stop, although McLaren strategy-wise was awful in Imola, they do have a chance to do something there, I guess. Because they could go, you know, earlier with one, a big undercut with one, overcut with the other, and Max either way could lose out. So that's going to be interesting. Ocon out of the pits. And again, he's going to jump us as well. So, as I say, this phase not working that well for us. Ocon's onto the mediums as well. We're on this tyre until lap 44. So that gamble early on. Well, that gamble early on would have worked. It's just the pit crew has absolutely wrecked us for us. Because, as I say, we'd be 8 seconds up the road. So we'd have 6 seconds on Sainz, 7 or 8 seconds on Ocon right now. Well, that is unfortunately not the case. But Russell leads. So let's have a little look at the championship, shall we? So currently, we've got a yellow flag. Just wait and see. It's just a spin. Who was that? I can't work out who that was. Oh, of course. There's only one person. Lance Stroll then has had enough.
Whoa.
That was a very... Never seen a spin like that, actually, on that corner. Stroll, has he boxed yet? No, he's not. Yeah, so, sorry, let's look at the championship. So, Russell, Max Verstappen's moved into the points, but Russell, as it stands, would win the championship by 9 points. The Constructors' Battle for P2, Mercedes would come out on top of that because they're currently scoring 37 points. So, work for McLaren and Red Bull to do as it stands. This is the final race of the season, so we've got 51 laps of the 2025 season to go, and there's a battle for P2 in the Constructors and a battle for that Drivers' Championship between Russell and Verstappen. As it stands, Russell is about to become world champion for the first time. And we're currently dragging our car in 19th and 21st, so we are certainly going to need a bit of luck from somewhere here today. I've got a few more pit stops coming in shortly, which will be Behrman, Hulkenberg and Lawson. And we've got to hope switching to this hard is going to pay off. I don't really, as I say, particularly like using the hard round Brazil. And we kind of went for a gamble. At the moment, not paying off. Maloney's got a bit of fuel that we're not using there. Behrman and Hulkenberg into the pits. But if it's anything like what we've seen, they could be coming out in front of Colapinto as well here. That's a slow stop. Oh, he's being held for Hulkenberg there. And actually, Colapinto is thankfully going to jump these two. Yeah, so Colapinto does clear them. You're going to save Jack Doohan for Season 2? Save as in sign him, or save as in just remove him from the career? Colapinto there moves to P17. Doohan has just stopped Behrman and Hulkenberg, so they may come at him here. But Colapinto he's always got a chance. He might come back at it later on. I don't think Maloney will do because he's got that poor gearbox, so it's going to be a struggle. But Colapinto still in with a chance, especially if we get a safety car at the right time. We can always get a safety car, virtual or red flag around Brazil, so let's not count anything as over as yet. You've signed him. No. No doing in our team, I don't think, unfortunately. It'll be interesting to see what the AI do, though. We'll do and stay on the grid. I think I'm going to stay with Colapinto and Maloney. As I say, the series, as we know with the Team Lotus series, we went with experience in the end with Alonso and Ricciardo. But this one, I'm keen to get a young driver, try and win the championship with a young driver. So I'm going to try and stick with Zane and Colapinto for now. As Leclerc is pitting, so Leclerc has been fighting Russell. Russell's on the mediums though, so going longer. Leclerc on the sauce, but Leclerc might get a nice undercut here. And Verstappen needs someone to take the fight to George Russell. Because if Russell doesn't win it and he finishes second, what will that give him? 18 points? I think Verstappen would then need to finish at least fourth. Yeah, need to finish fourth. So if Russell finished second, Verstappen needs fourth to win the championship. All sorts of calculations about today, but we'll monitor it as we've got another yellow flag. Can't see anyone tumbling down. Might just be a short spin or someone going out wide there. Yeah, Piastri running out wide. Not even going to have a take a look at that. He's not lost anything there. Leclerc, crucially, has just come out in front of Alonso. And that's crucial because he's got 6-second gap there. Is this real or a game? It's a game, Ethan. F1 Manager 24. So yeah, that's crucial for Leclerc. He's gone on another set of softs, so he's gone soft. And I'd expect he will take the lead of this race once everyone pits in front of him. How are we doing with old Franco then? Franco Colapinto, 79% hards. He's doing all right. He's sticking along. Oh, I see. Thanks. Yeah, but that's my thoughts on Monaco. I think it will spice it up, but I think we've got to see the evidence on Sunday, how the race pans out, if it makes a difference. But what do you think is going to happen on Sunday? Do you like the idea of this mandatory two-stop? And don't forget, that's a two-stopper even if it rains. How many points do you have in the championship? We currently have 63 points in this year's championship. This is the first year. We did start with the worst car, so we're having a pretty good season. Addy, thanks for the follow. What a day. Hi, if you're from Australia, mate. Spoot, thanks for the follow. Hope you're well. Right, so what are the leaders saying? Yeah, probably a couple... Oh, Piastri's staying out on 26% tyres. He's not exactly losing pace, though, is he? Piastri should be in at the end of this lap, though. So we are obviously managing Maserati, and they are our team and drivers. But in today's race, we are going to keep a closer eye on the leaders, because, as I say, we have got a championship battle unfolding between Russell and Verstappen. Verstappen, if you've joined this stream late, Verstappen qualified last. He started last. His championship rival, Russell, put it on pole. So, Verstappen having a mega race so far, doing a bit of a Hamilton round Brazil. Or a bit of him himself. Verstappen last year, of course, in Brazil. In that rain-soaked race that led to a double Alpine podium somehow. But that was a chaotic, brilliant race. But yeah, Brazil closes off the season for us. I like Brazil finishing the season off. Hasn't done so in real Formula 1 since 2013, I believe, was the last time Brazil closed off a season. Probably one of the most famous ones being the 2008 Massa versus Hamilton. But yeah, I do like Brazil closing out the season, and it will do here today. But yeah, I think it's been a good 12 years since it's done in real life. Of course, Abu Dhabi takes that place these days. Is it a mod to get 2025 cars on F1? Yes, this is a PC mod to get the liveries for this year. Colapinto under pressure now from Doohan and Behrman. They're on a softer tyre in the medium, and they've got more tyre life. So hard work here for Colapinto ahead of him. Materia, thanks for the follow. Hope you're well. Two stops stupid. The FI showing why they should not be part of F1's future. Yeah, I think it's kind of just putting a plaster on it, isn't it, really? But if you watch, especially some of the F2 action, I don't know what the F2 cars... I'm assuming F2 is racing this weekend, but if you watch some of the F2 races around Monaco the last few seasons, or at least how the cars can fight a little bit more, still shows it can be done. The problem with a lot of these tracks is the actual cars, not the tracks themselves. Monaco's not become as good because the cars are just so bulky and just not great for that kind of racing, unfortunately. So Doohan, here he goes up the inside of Franco Colapinto. And Franco, let's say he's on that hard tyre. These two on the mediums, and they might both get past him here because they've both got DRS. He's got nothing to defend against, so he's just got to try and keep with these guys. Go longer on this stint and hopefully come back at them later on in the race. But points looks very unlikely for our driver today. As I say, we'll keep a close eye on the leaders. Hamilton should probably be next in. Albon's in P3. On merit, Albon's in P3 for Williams today, which is bad news for us in the Constructors. I don't know if they can actually jump us in the Constructors or not. Let's have a look at that. Williams, 16 points behind. Oh, no, this is live, isn't it? So, yeah, no, that's fine. Because even with 18, they go to 47. So, yeah, we are covered off by Williams. But Albon now into B2. He's loving life out there. What a result that would be. Sainz is now up to 13th. Pulled about 8 seconds on us, but he's going to be in a lot earlier than us. I wonder if some of these are going to 3-stop. That might be interesting. We should have much better tyres at the end. But Maloney running dead last. Got a beat up gearbox. Got to try and get to P18 if he can. So we're probably going to need a few retirements ahead of him, if that's to happen today. But Colapinto has been able to fend off Behrman, and he's now having another attack on Jack Doohan. But Coach, thanks for the follow. Much appreciated. Yeah, no, it's going to be interesting this Sunday at Monaco. Be interesting to see what the strategy shape up to be. Hamilton does pit. What do we think the top 3 in qualifying will be? As I say, let me know in the comments what your top 3 for Monaco qualifying is going to be. So Hamilton is now out of the pits. So who else is due to come in? Yeah, most of the leaders are now going to be in. So I think, as I say, Charles Leclerc will have quite a good lead in this race, I believe. It's gone early. Going to get a good undercut. Colapinto again has got DRS, but Doohan has actually now got DRS on Hadjar. Hadjar's now down to the same tyre life as Colapinto, so Colapinto's got a chance of Hadjar, but Hadjar will now get the DRS on Doohan, so we'll find ourselves in a bit of a DRS train. I think on Sunday we're going to have a few, especially the teams at the back end of the grid, we're going to have a few early stops, you know, between lap 1 to 8, and then those cars are just going to hang it out waiting for that virtual or full safety car and get their second stop done, and that's job done for them. Colapinto then moves back past Hadjar, or moves past Hadjar. It's now doing the car ahead. So the tyre life's now swinging towards us. So Colapinto might start to find some pace now. We've gone through a bit of a rough phase there. And here he goes. DRS again on Doohan. Have the inside. But we've got the next detection zone. So Doohan's going to get the DRS on us here. Can we hold him off? Doohan on the inside then, coming straight back at us. This is the problem. We don't want to be forced out wide. Colapinto though, good in the defence, good traction out there. He'll have an inside on these right-handers. And Doohan has to concede, so Colapinto back up to 15th. Ocon has got good tyre life at 72%. Stroll staying out quite long here. Maybe going on the one-stopper, Stroll and Gasly, because they're on the mediums. As Gasly stops now. Pierre Gasly should be coming out ahead of us, I'd imagine. Don't know where Pierre Gasly was actually before he actually got into the pit lane. Stroll is only just in though, so I think we might be jumping Stroll, but we will have Jack Doohan against the man that replaced him, Franco Colapinto, all over our rear wing again here. And there's Gasly. So he is going to clear Colapinto and Doohan. But Stroll is not, and there goes Doohan past us. That's got a yellow flag. Hadjar spun. Shouldn't be a virtual or safety.
And then the car just goes.
Yeah, seems that curb. If you touch that curb today.
Want to be doing that.
So Hadjar. That's going to take him out of contention coming back at Colapinto. And Hadjar takes his tyre life down to 60% as Colapinto moves back past Doohan. And now the leaders are in. So here we go. Cut away from our action because this is very interesting. Between Russell and Verstappen here today. George Russell then is in. I'd say he was fighting Leclerc before that first stop. Looks like George Russell's going for a one stop. Looks like Leclerc's going for the two stopper. Which one is going to work out best here today? Russell now back out then into P7. We'll see what the championship looks like once everyone's made their first stops. But Verstappen is ahead of Russell, but of course Verstappen is yet to stop. Colapinto has got DRS on Gasly, Doohan's teammate. Gasly's just stopped though, so he's just getting his tyres up to temp. Once he does, he should probably pull away into the distance. But we have put a gap on Behrman now. What's the gap to? It's 4 seconds to Sainz, but Sainz has got to come in pretty shortly, so... And Ocon, so we might have a chance of Ocon and Sainz, as we do move past Gasly there, but we're going to need something to happen ahead of us if we're to get any points here today. And Maloney is just struggling down there in dead last, but that was always going to be a struggle for him. Norris is into the pit, so Leclerc regains the lead of this race. Albon's staying out. He's on 25% tyres. That's not the best strategy I would suggest, but hey-ho, let them get on with it. Who's left to pit then out here? Albon and Verstappen. So once they pit, we'll see what the leaders are looking like. Verstappen may well drop out of the points again, but he's had a great first stint, hasn't he? Started last in this race, Verstappen. And he's going to be sniffing around. I think he will still be in the points when he does pit. So, really good pace from Max Verstappen. And Gasly, as we saw there, back past Colapinto. We knew Colapinto wasn't going to be fighting that because Gasly has got some fresh hard tyres on. And we don't have DRS though. So, Behrman somehow has come back out of nowhere. And he might have a chance on the inside here on Colapinto, but no. User 655, thanks for the follow. Albon into the pits finally. Let's have a look where he comes out. Albon's got a good chance of big points here today, hasn't he? Where is he going to come out here? He's going to still be in the points. So we'll see how that works out for him. Right, Colapinto is going to be under big pressure from Ollie Behrman here. Behrman doesn't go for it on that DRS. He'll get another chance here though. Let's use a bit of fuel. Behrman then taking that run up the inside. Is he going to take a lunge? Yes, he is, and he's through, actually. Didn't really defend that too hard, which is disappointing from Colapinto. I think we could have defended that a little bit better. Colapinto slips back down to P15. Verstappen is into the pits now. So where is Max going to come out? He's already made his stop. As I say, started last. I think he's going to clear Albon here. So he's gone from last to P9 after the first round of stops. Albon is going to be close to him, though, because Albon's going to have good speed here. I think Albon will just get him, actually. He will. Albon, as Verstappen trying to come out, but Albon's going to have much fresher tyres into... Well, not fresher tyres. He's going to have tyres up to temp. But Max does hold on to it. Good work from Max, actually. That looked like that was going to be Albon's position. Albon might still get it on the DRS zones. Well, that's been a good stint, but how far is he off the lead? 29 seconds, but Leclerc's probably got a pit again. So has Alonso, so has Piastri. So he's only 17 seconds off Russell now. As Colapinto's back past Behrman.
We're following the action through turn 5. It's certainly inviting.
Right, let's have a look then of how it's all shaking up as Albon is going to move past Verstappen. So current standings as is, George Russell would be winning the World Championship by 4 points. So it's very tight. This is changing all the time. So it's 4 points between Russell and Verstappen. The constructors, it's still Mercedes by 12 points, but McLaren edging closer. Red Bull a little bit off at the moment. So all to play for still. Halfway through this one, the final race of 2025. And Max all over the back of Albon. I'm sure he's going to get that back. Colapinto is still fighting along with Behrman and Doohan here. They're not too far off Gasly still. Sainz has got to be in pretty soon here. And there goes Behrman. So what's Behrman's tyre now? He's used a lot more, so has Doohan. So Colapinto's got better tyre life. So I think in the long run he's going to be beating Behrman and Doohan. Can he beat Sainz and Ocon? That would get us to P12. So yeah, points still are unlikely. Unless we can benefit from a safety car somewhere. I think points are highly unlikely unless actually we have a couple of retirements ahead of us here in the top 10. But yeah, Russell all the way down to Albon, all going to the end. Leclerc, Alonso and Piastri are opting for a 2-stop. So Russell is going to reclaim the lead of this race once these three make their second pit stop. Right, Colapinto back to P14, 1.8 off Gasly, but Gasly's got much better tyre life. As I say, I think we're really fighting Ocon and Sainz here. Try and finish at least P12 in this one, which ideally we want a point, but we'll take P12. Christian, thanks for the follow, much appreciated. And if you are into the stream and you haven't already, do smash that like button, super appreciated. So yeah, is George Russell going to win this World Championship? He was 7 points behind Max Verstappen coming into this one. He's built up that advantage in this race so far because Max started last, he started on pole. So as it stands, Russell will win the World Drivers' Championship, but we've still got more than, or just less than half a race to go here now. So it's all to play for. Verstappen, I think, is going to have a really good pace now. Verstappen could get up to the top 5. If Russell wins the race, Verstappen needs P2. If Russell finishes P2, Verstappen needs P4. P4 might be doable for Max. I'm not sure P2 is at the moment. So Russell needs to win the race, and he's got a good chance to win the race. Because he's only 2 seconds off Alonso and Piastri. And they've got to stop again. He's 10 seconds off Leclerc, but again, he'll have a good 10-15 seconds on him once Leclerc stops. So Russell will take the lead of this race once they stop. But here comes young Ollie Behrman again. We can't quite shake him at the moment. But let's use a bit of battery here. See if we can just get into Gasly's DRS or try and shake off Behrman, because he's down to 37% tyres now. But let's use a bit of battery. Use a bit of the pace in the car. But yeah, I'm feeling that Max is going to put it on pole in Monaco. Now, McLaren's my team, but Max, you can't rule him out. High on confidence. Doesn't matter what happens on practice, because that Red Bull seems to turn up on Saturday. So, yeah, I'm feeling a Max Verstappen pole. And depends what the Ferrari does, but I do fancy Charles Leclerc, of course, always around Monaco. Kaku, thanks for the follow. Sainz and Doohan are into the pits. So Sainz making his final stop. Unless there's a safety car. And Behrman has stayed with us, but we are using this battery now. We are getting close to Ocon, who's another car that we want to be fighting here today. And Gasly hasn't exactly pulled away as Behrman has a look. Behrman's going to be coming in shortly. Tom, Max is definitely dragging that Red Bull to where it doesn't belong yet. Yeah, I think even if you're not a Max fan this year, surely you've got to start to appreciate what he can do. I think if, as I say, I'm a McLaren fan, so it's not as if I'm going to be biased to Max, but I think without Max, McLaren would be walking this championship, so any other driver. Mina, thanks for the follow. But yeah, he's doing big things in that Red Bull. And I think that will continue all season. You know, the best drivers like your Sennas and that, they can find a couple of attempts, 2-3 attempts in the car. So even if he hasn't got a rocket ship, he's still competitive. Colapinto on the outside of Esteban Ocon. That will give him inside on this right-hander. We'll give the DRS to Ocon. But we have now caught Ocon and passed him. Ocon will pit shortly. So we have got up to P12, that target we were looking for. Is Ocon going to come straight back out? He's got a good chance on the inside, but Colapinto closes it off. Mikal, thanks for the follow. Max somehow wins the title. He'll be up there with the greatest. Can't stand him, but that Red Bull is the third, fourth best car. Oh yeah, definitely. That's what I mean. You've got to take personality out of it. That's why I just hate all of these Formula One fights between fans, between Lewis and Max, and all of this. I mean, just you've got to drop your bias and your personal favourites, and just appreciate when drivers are doing a good job. And Max is doing that this season, doing a mega job. Alright, is Ocon going to pit, or is he going to continue this? No, he's not going to pit yet. Behrman should pit, though. Ocon is having a big push against us. Behrman does indeed pit. Ocon goes past us, but we'll be able to stay with him on this next DRS. When are we due to stop, actually? Lap 44 and lap 45. So we'll probably go a bit more aggressive, actually, on this tyre now, as we get the DRS. Behrman and Hulkenberg in. So yeah, I do think Colapinto probably fighting for P12. Although Stroll is going to have good tyre life, isn't he? He pitted a lot earlier, so yeah, he might pull away in that 12th place, but we'll see. Colapinto back past Ocon, and Ocon's tyres down to 39%. Norris sets a fast lap of the race. Verstappen is not really gaining on Antonelli, is he? Is the championship slipping away from Max Verstappen? He's P9, he's 4 seconds off Antonelli. Antonelli himself is 4 seconds off Hamilton. So Verstappen really needs to find 8 seconds to get up to the battle for P6. And then he's closer to Norris. Yeah, it's going to be interesting when Leclerc, Piastri and Alonso pit, which they will be shortly. I'm butchering this, but Bicha Paolo? Bicha Paolo, that's what I'm going with. Thanks for the follow. I've butchered it, but I appreciate it. Yeah, it's going to be interesting when Leclerc, Piastri and Alonso pit here. Ocon is staying with us. We have gone aggressive, but he is very much staying with us. And here he comes. Let's see if we can use a bit of this battery here, because Ocon is being a bit of a pest to us. Maloney's just tricking along in P20 here. His race is done for. He's got to hope for some retirements to get P18, really. But it's fine money-wise anyway. He is 13 seconds ahead of Hulkenberg, but Hulkenberg has stopped. So yeah, he is really fighting for P20 or 21st, it looks like, Maloney. Colapinto, right, we're using that battery. We're going aggressive on the tyres. Can we break the DRS to Ocon? We've got the 1 second now. How close is he coming out of here for the detection zone? We should. Ooh, I don't know. He just dipped. We should be good. I think we've just broken the DRS to him. So we shouldn't see his DRS wing open. And it doesn't. So Colapinto does finally break the DRS then to Ocon. 1.4 to Gasly. Gasly hasn't been able to pull away, but Gasly's going to the end. So basically, although we're right on his gearbox, yeah, although we're right on his gearbox, we're net, what, 20 seconds behind.
Are you ready? Copy.
Okay, my TikTok has popped up that I'm posting unoriginal content. Well, it's my own content and it's live, TikTok. I'm not sure what else I can do about that. Well, hopefully the stream is still good. You're still watching over there on TikTok. I'm not sure what that message is all about. Leclerc pits. So Leclerc has made his second stop. And he's coming out right behind Kimi Antonelli. So Leclerc is now... yeah, 12 seconds off Russell. So Leclerc's got to find 12 seconds to Russell to challenge for the lead of this race. And Max Verstappen needs him to do that. Because Max Verstappen is slowly gaining on Antonelli, but it's not at the pace that he wants. I'll wait for Piastri and Alonso to pit, and then I'll show you the current standings. But it is Russell winning the World Championship by quite a few points at the moment, because Verstappen's still bogged down in P9. Colapinto, we're going to box next lap. So let's get ready to do that. And he has lost a bit of time to Gasly now, hasn't he? So maybe Gasly's starting to push. Ocon has stayed out still. We've put 3 seconds on him. So Colapinto's going to go back down the grid here, but he should be quicker in this final phase. Tom, you got a driver change cooking for next season. I think we're going to stick with Colapinto and Maloney for next year. I mean, neither of them have made really regular mistakes. Been a couple. But I'd like to get a young driver to win the Drivers' Championship. So I think we'll give them one more year. And then we'll review next year. Alright, so Colapinto, end of this lap, he's coming in. So let's just forward on, get him into the box. See where we come out. But I think he's fighting for somewhere between P12 and 14 points. Unlikely here. Piastri's into the pits. Alonso stays out. He's the only other one on a 2-stopper out of the leaders. But here comes Franco. Had an 8-second stop, the first stop. So let's try and beat that, please, pit crew. Boys and girls down at Maserati. As Ocon does pit as well. We're hoping for a clean stop here. We haven't got the quickest pit crew. Normally around 2.7 on average. So we'll take anything 2.8 or under, please. But if we get another mistake here... that is just going to throw the race. 2.6. We'll take it. We'll take it. And think, without that pit stop issue, that 8-second delay, where would we have been? We would have been a lot higher than where we're currently bogged down in. So there goes Doohan, who we were fighting earlier. Right, let's get Maloney in as well.
Box this lap.
Right, let's get these tyres up to temp. Use a bit of battery as well. Use a bit of fuel for good measure. So Colapinto 1.3 off Doohan. Doohan's 4.9 off Sainz. They're both on the hards. Lawson's going to pit again. Yeah, Stroll is the one we've got to find a bit of time on. So work to do for Colapinto. Alright, has Alonso stopped? Alonso has stopped. Albon's up to B8. Right, so everyone who's made a second stop yet. So the leaders, just check their tyres. The leaders are all now going to the end. Russell leads the race. If he wins, Max Verstappen must finish P2. Leclerc is now only 10 seconds off the lead. He would really, in real life, his teammate would be getting out of the... well, I say that, Ferrari, maybe his teammate wouldn't get out of the way because it's all a bit dodgy down there at Ferrari at the moment. But ideally, Lewis be out of the way to allow Leclerc to get past Tsunoda and hunt down Russell. And Verstappen would like to see that because, as it stands, Russell would be winning the Drivers' Championship, as we'll just see Colapinto get this move done
Watching the action closely here.
on Jack Doohan.
Gap opens up for them.
So, tyres up to temp. Yeah, so at the moment, George Russell would be winning the World Championship by 12 points. So Verstappen needs to get up the grid a little bit more. Let's have a look at the constructors. Mercedes holding on to P2. McLaren up to P3. Red Bull dropped to P4. So that fight is continuing, as Hadjar's had a pit stop issue. And Maloney is coming into the pits now as well. And he has a 2.5 second stop. We just missed that one, but good stop there from the pit crew. But Maloney, he's got a really poor gearbox in that car. He ran out of gearbox towards the end of the season. We didn't want to spend $1 million on it when we only had a couple of races left to save that money for next year's design work. So that's why he's struggling. As if I show you down here, the gearbox at 32%. So he comes back out in 21st. And he's 4 seconds off Hadjar and 23 off Hulkenberg. So Maloney looks like he's on to finish dead last here, as Doohan is having a lock-up behind us there. So that brings his battle with us to a close. Is that George Russell now lapping him? It is.
Right then, you can take a look now. So here we are following the Alpine.
So Jack Doohan, we just got past him, and he's going to have a big old lock-up here.
The car locks up.
I wonder if Russell lost some time there. Leclerc's still bogged down behind his teammate. Leclerc's race is being ruined by the battle between Hamilton and Tsunoda. This is classic Ferrari strategy here. Oh no. This is giving Russell the World Championship. If Hamilton moved over, Leclerc would have a great chance to get past Tsunoda. Just Ferrari doing Ferrari things out here, I guess. Tom Ferrari not switching the cars, very realistic. Exactly. Exactly. They've nailed that. They've absolutely nailed this. We just need the "we're checking" message to come through the radio. But Leclerc, the issue here is Leclerc's two-stop. He's on really good mediums, better tyres, and he can't get through because Hamilton's DRS is blocking him, essentially. Is Hamilton going to have a go? Can Leclerc send it on the inside here of Tsunoda? No. Can he send it on his teammate? No. Leclerc, this is going all wrong for the Monegasque man here. And I think Antonelli has joined the party now as well. He has. And again, this is going to carry on. So this is not helping Verstappen, because Verstappen needs Leclerc to challenge Russell for the win. And whilst this is happening, Russell's just extending the lead. So this is going Russell's way. Atali, thanks for the follow. Atali, thanks for the follow. Much appreciated. With 22 laps to go, and it's looking like George Russell is going to become a world champion for the first time. Lawson is into the pits, so that should promote Colapinto another place here. It will indeed. Just got to watch Colapinto's fuel there. Hadjar's got a bit that he can use. So Colapinto is 4.6 off Sainz, so let's just... going a bit slow at the moment, though, so let's just keep an eye, see if he starts to bring that in later on in the race. Hamilton moving past Tsunoda here. Tsunoda's now going to have DRS, so again, as soon as Leclerc gets one of these, he should be through. But he just can't do it at the moment. Is Leclerc going to have to go on the outside? Tsunoda... Oh, Leclerc has to get out of it. They're losing time all the time. And it does mean Verstappen is gaining on these. So that's good for Verstappen. But if Russell wins the race, Verstappen needs P2. So this is just going all wrong for Charles Leclerc. He needs it. He needs it in the next lap or two. If not, George is going to win this race. Hamilton can't pull away from Tsunoda. Tsunoda's all over his gearbox. Leclerc needs to be a lot closer than this. Tsunoda's going to have a great chance on Hamilton again. But I think Leclerc is too far back. Although the inside might open up lovely this time for Charles Leclerc. Hamilton's the sandwich. Leclerc on the inside. Finally, he is through. Can he fend off Yuki Tsunoda, who's now going to pick up the DRS? Leclerc gets the job done, but now he must keep Yuki Tsunoda behind him, and I'm not sure he can because Yuki is nearly already alongside him. Leclerc's got to be aggressive here in the defence, and he is. He stays ahead, and Leclerc is released. He's 2.7 behind Norris. He's 10 seconds off the race lead. Can Leclerc still win the race? He's got to find the pace now. Verstappen is still 4.8 seconds off that battle, so he's not got mega pace, has he, Verstappen, at the moment? Colapinto. It's all a little bit calmer in our world. Colapinto currently in 14th. 3.6 off Sainz. I think he has got a chance to get Carlos Sainz here today, and maybe Lance Stroll. So maybe still P12 on for us. Maloney, we'll keep him out there, but he's not going to do anything today. Leclerc is already on Lando Norris. Where the hell has that come from? He has got pace because he was 2 seconds behind. He's already onto Lando. Can he get this one done straight away? He's going to get DRS here and a lovely slipstream. And George's 10-second lead is shortly going to be 8 seconds to Leclerc. And there we go. Leclerc then is released, but Verstappen really needs to find pace in that Red Bull. To be fair, if he can get to these, I mean, Hamilton's 2 seconds off Hamilton, but once Verstappen gets to Antonelli, he's basically fighting for P3 then, because it's a DRS train to P3. Piastri's with Verstappen as well, though, and on better tyres, so work to do, but Leclerc can now chase down George Russell. As I always say, we don't very rarely we do skip the track action, but whilst Colapinto is in no man's land and Leclerc's got some time to find, let's just forward on, see if we can see those gaps coming down, then we'll jump back on board. 18 laps to go, and the World Championship still up for grabs. Verstappen 2.6 off Antonelli, but as I say that, Piastri overtakes Verstappen. Leclerc was now, what, 6.8 seconds off Russell. So it's not closing at a very quick rate, is it? Still got 10% tyre life on him, though, so gradually he might continue to take that out. We're still 3 seconds off Sainz. But Sainz is now nearly on to Lance Stroll, so if we can get to Sainz, we might be with Stroll as well. And Norris has come back at Leclerc. What's Norris's tyres then? 61%. They're 5.6 off Russell. Verstappen's back to P7. Colapinto still 3 seconds off. So we've got 10% tyre life on those ahead of us. So 15 laps to go. Russell has a 4.6 second lead. It's going to get very tight at the end here, I think. Verstappen is down to P8, but they have basically arrived on that DRS train, but that has been cut off at Tsunoda, so it looks like 4th place is the best Verstappen will do. And if he finishes 4th, he'll need Russell to finish... Well, he finishes P2 and Verstappen P4. I think Verstappen will win the championship. As Leclerc and Norris continue to fight, Hadjar's fault is getting worse. I don't know if Norris and Leclerc are going to get to Russell, are they? He's only got 5%. I think Russell might be good for the race win here, and therefore the championship. Colapinto, though, has joined the Sainz and Stroll party. I'm not sure Stroll goes to parties, but if he does, this is the party that he's in with Sainz right now. And if we look at tyre life between these, Sainz and Stroll 53%, Sainz 56%. We've got 65 on our softer compound tyre here. So Colapinto, definitely a chance for P12 here. As Doohan has to pit again. So Maloney is off the foot of the grid and is into 20th place. And he's actually catching Hadjar, so it might be 19th place for Maloney soon. Right, DRS from Colapinto, but Stroll has it on the Williams of Sainz as well. Leclerc now within 3.5 of Russell. And Colapinto, that's an aggressive move. And what it will do is it will give us DRS, but Stroll has got DRS as well. We're getting the slipstream here, though. So can we move to the inside as well? Can we cover off Stroll? No, we can't. Oh, and they've made contact. Of course they have. Stroll has made contact with us. Minor front wing damage. Oh, Lance.
Yellow flag here.
Leclerc earlier today in Monaco.
Not a lot of wiggle room here. And you can see how the cars
Ah,
come together.
Stroll.
I imagine their confidence
Stroll
will
never
take
made the
them.
corner and he took us with him. We're not going to pit with that minor, but that's insult to injury. Stroll is ahead of Fernando Alonso in the points in the real F1 season. Yeah, Stroll's, to be fair, Stroll's doing big things for Stroll, at least this year. You viewed. But yeah, he's just damaged our front wing. Doesn't look like he's going to get a penalty for that either. Leclerc, 3.1 seconds off the lead. He's still got a chance of winning this race. And no penalty awarded to Lance Stroll there. Gets away with it. We have got DRS on him. Now, how much of this front wing damage going to cost us? Having a look on the inside of Stroll. And we are through, and we will get the DRS on Carlos Sainz. So hopefully that'll help us in our defence on Stroll. And it will do. Are we too far back to have a go on Sainz? We are gaining. We are gaining. I think we're going to be a little bit too far back. We have a sneaky little look, but nothing doing there. Verstappen still P7. He's got work to do. Russell still winning the race, but Leclerc is nearly with him. So if Leclerc gets past Russell into P1, I think Verstappen needs to get to P4. There's work to do. Colapinto's got a good chance to get into P12 now. Gasly down to 50%. He's 8 seconds up the road though, so I don't think that's likely. Going to try and use the battery here to get the overtake done and break the DRS and hopefully not fight these guys all the way to the end. Red Bull doing the Ferrari tactic now of not switching. Oh yeah, Verstappen was just behind Tsunoda there, and now he's lost out to Piastri as Colapinto is past Sainz. As I say, we're going to use this battery. We'll probably deplete this battery. Sainz is going to get the DRS here. But we'll try and break the DRS through the rest of this lap. We've got a bit of tyre life to play with as well, so let's just go attack.
Copy.
The problem is we can't drop Sainz here. The battery is going to be an issue for the rest of the race, but hopefully we can. It's up to half a second here. I think Sainz has started to push there as well because he's not going anywhere. Oh, we can't drop him. Yeah, battery's empty.
You are doing a good job.
And Maloney! He's made an overtake. Looks like he's got Doohan all over the back of him, but Maloney has moved past Hadjar. And for now, I think that's P19, but Doohan's likely to come past him because Doohan's on some fresh sauce. Colapinto, we had a go there, but unfortunately, nothing doing. We couldn't break the DRS. So Sainz is going to come back past us. We'll have to just top up and have another go at Sainz in a little while. It's probably going to chop and change that position. Leclerc has dropped 3 seconds behind Russell now. So Russell starting to look good for this championship. Verstappen bogged down in P8. He did start last though. Colapinto does get back past, but as I say, I'm just going to top up the battery for a few laps. It looks like it might be a fight to the end with these. We can go light on the tyres as well. Just keep that tyre advantage till the end. Try and get a full battery, and then we'll go attack on the tyres and battery. We're not going to catch Gasly, I don't think. 6 seconds, tyre life is similar. But yeah, points So if we didn't have the 8 seconds in the pit stop, we would have been past Gasly, but would still be 20 odd seconds off the points. So it looks like Albon would have had too much for us today anyway. But Russell is looking like he's going to become a world champion for the first time. Maloney may as well use some battery that he's got. Here comes Carlos Sainz again. Yeah, we're keeping 4% tyre margin, and we've got good battery. And if you're watching the stream, you like what you see, please do press that like button if you haven't already. Super appreciated. Really helps the channel out as well. So Colapinto holding off Sainz and Stroll. Just trying to build this battery up and a bit of the tyre life. Still got 4% margin on them. So we'll be able to use that 4% in a couple of laps time and hopefully break the DRS. Sainz a lot closer this time though, so Sainz should be moving past us, I'd imagine. Leclerc just can't get closer than that 3 seconds to Russell. Verstappen is into P6 though. But he needs to get to P2 if Russell wins the race, and he's not going to do that because he's 10 seconds off P2. Verstappen needs Leclerc to win this race, and he needs himself to get to P4. Sainz does get the overtake done, as we see there. We will still keep DRS on him. Still 4%. Is he going light as well? Because we're not exactly extending our tyre margin on him.
No overtake. Yeah, copy.
Maloney, yeah, P20. Staying with doing, but yeah, Maloney's on to finish P20. Leclerc 2.5 to Russell. But the tyres are going to switch over to the hards soon because Leclerc's had the best of those mediums, basically. And Verstappen's down to P7 again, so this is very much looking like a George Russell driver championship today. Here comes Colapinto. We are only now 4 seconds off Pierre Gasly, so we might have a chance at Gasly towards the end of this race. Are we going to get... No. If we got the second DRS there, I would have pushed on the battery, but... Eduardo, thanks for the follow, much appreciated. Hope you're well. The Colapinto back past Sainz, but Sainz can come straight back at us here. Do we close the door? No, we don't. We don't want any more accidents. Colapinto switching back there. We're still topping up the battery in all of this, so we've got to hope Sainz is using a bit of battery. Leclerc 2.2 to Russell. Verstappen still P7. He's dropped out of the DRS. Tyres are going as well. What I want for Colapinto here is to get the second DRS. If we get the overtake done on this first one, we just give the DRS back to Sainz and he can stay with us. So I think we're going to be too close again. I think we probably will get the overtake done here. Could ask him not to overtake, or you know, be a bit more less aggressive on the overtakes. Right, this should be good actually. We will get it here. We should get the DRS here. I believe we're at the detection. We do. So this is the moment to try and push away. Let's go back attacking on the tyres. Stroll and Sainz are fighting each other. That gives us a bit of a buffer as well because they've lost half a second there. So we could get the second. We've already got the second as those two are tussling. That's worked out perfectly then. Colapinto pushing away. We'll keep attacking throughout this lap. Still, yeah, 1.5 to Stroll, 1.7. This is good. 2 seconds to Stroll. That should be job done then on Stroll and Sainz. Gasly, 2.3, but Gasly's probably just been saving his battery, so I think if we get to Gasly, we'll probably find he's going to start pushing away. Leclerc, 1.8 off George Russell. Still got 2% in favour on those mediums, but Verstappen has got to get to P4, and it's not happening at the moment. Four laps to go. Oh my god, a virtual safety car. Sainz is out, and that could be the World Championship. It's a safety car. It is going to be the World Drivers' Championship to George Russell, because Carlos Sainz
and not just one
has clipped the Aston, and then he's into the wall. We just left Sainz and Stroll to fight, and indeed they did fight. But Sainz is into the barrier. And that is going to be the World Championship to George Russell. George will be elated with a safety car.
Try to slow down a bit.
Because I don't think we'll get restarted. Even if we do, it'll just be to come across the line. So George Russell.
Yeah, all okay, confirmed.
What an anticlimax. By 12 points, he's going to win the Driver Championship, it looks like. Constructors, Mercedes are going to hold on. Well, actually, they're going to dominate with those 37 points. McLaren will take P3 as it stands. But it looks like George Russell is about to win the Drivers' Championship, because we've got a full safety car and we've only got 3 laps to go. Stroll gets a penalty. We're not going to get restarted. We haven't got Michael Massey as the race director. If not, we'd be ready for drama on this final lap. But I think the safety car will peel in on the final lap. He'll let the drivers put it to the floor. But final lap, Russell's going to win it under a safety car. He's going to become a world driver champion under the safety car. Verstappen started last. He tried his best. I think it would have been tight between Leclerc and Russell in that final lap. Good Verstappen got to P4. I think the margin would have been a lot closer. But as we have it, is this safety car going to come in? Or is it going to be fully coming across the line in the safety car? Safety car is ending, but it is the final lap. So it's just for the fans to see these cars get back up to full speed. Unless Russell spins it out this final corner, he is about to become a world champion for the first time. Safety car will peel away into the pits. And here we go. Oh, Leclerc has a little sneaky look on the outside, but it's not going to happen. George Russell wins the race from pole in Brazil, and he is a world champion in 2025. Verstappen chased him down this season, chased him down in the race, but it's not enough. Russell wins the world championship. You viewed super sticker, buddy. Thank you very much. Too kind, as always. And as Russell wins the championship, we are greeted with a Haas driver. With no points. I'm not sure why. But here we go. Full classification. That's a bit of a shame, that safety car. If that safety car was about 5 laps earlier, we would have been loving that, because that would have put Leclerc on Russell for the last 3-4 laps. But if you're an actual driver leading the championship, you would have loved that timing of the safety car. Probably not the best way to win a championship, but it's the most relaxing way. And Russell wins the race from pole, did what he needed to do. Leclerc second, Lando Norris third, Antonelli fourth, Yuki Tsunoda fifth, Hamilton sixth. Max Verstappen, the problem here was the Saturday. He had traffic, qualified dead last, and great race from him, up 14 places, but not enough. He had to finish second if George won the race. George put it on pole. It was always going to be a lot to ask, and Max finishes 7th, Piastri 8th, Fernando Alonso 9th, and Albon picking up a point for Williams and Colapinto. That first pit stop cost us, and yeah, 8 seconds. So we would have got Pierre Gasly, but not a chance of points today. And Stroll had a collision with us and a collision with Sainz in the end there. He has a penalty, which will be applied for the first race of 2026. Shane Maloney, unfortunately, couldn't get to P18. But let's have a look at the Drivers' Championship. George Russell up 1. As we said, it was a 7-point gap to Max Verstappen, and George Russell done it. He won the race. Verstappen in P7. It's a 12-point margin that Russell wins this 2025 Drivers' Championship. Max Verstappen second. Hamilton, it looked like it was going to be a Hamilton-Verstappen battle for the first part of the season. Then Russell really came into form. But Hamilton finishes third, beats Leclerc by 3 points. Then we've got Norris and Piastri, Kimi Antonelli, Yuki Tsunoda, Fernando Alonso, But look at this, Zane Maloney does finish in the top 10 in his first season with Maserati, and Franco Colapinto just behind him, in P11. Albon matches Colapinto's points with 28 with another point today. Liam Lawson 13th, Lance Stroll 14th, Pierre Gasly 15th, Carlos Sainz 16th, and the rest of the drivers did not score a point this year. Constructors then, Ferrari had already won it and Mercedes hold on to P2 mainly because of Russell's win there. They take 37 points, but McLaren do jump Red Bull. They were a couple points behind, weren't they? So yeah, 3-point swing, and that's enough for McLaren to finish P3. Red Bull finished P4, Aston Martin P5. But for our first season, P6, we will take that, starting with the worst car and 63 points. That's a pretty good points haul, to be fair. Williams 7th with 30 points, Alpine 8th with 6th. RB take 2 points this year. Kick Sauber and Haas didn't score a point all season. Pit stop times, I don't think we would have done anything. No, we did not. No worries. Yes, thank you, Yuvi. Much appreciated, buddy. You're going to do first race of season 2 as well. No additional race today, so we're going to close it off there, mainly because I need to do some bits off stream before the start of the new season. So have a look at what the calendar will be next year, see if I'm going to keep it the same. And of course, we'll want a nice new livery for 2026. And let me know in the comments, should I stick with this color scheme for 2026? Or should we go for a little bit different? Obviously, we did run that sort of red color scheme in Monaco. If you prefer that, let me know in the comments as well. But there we go, finished 10th in pit stops. That's something we're trying to improve on. We will improve on in 2026. And sporting director, we're actually changing there, so it doesn't matter too much. All right, let me just save this off here. That's fine. So yeah, that is going to bring this one to a close. So if you don't already, please do follow or subscribe. And before I go, do smash that like button. Super appreciated. Really helps me out. And let's say if you're watching this on TikTok or Twitch, head to the profile in the bio, click the YouTube link because we have all of our F1 Manager content on there. Live streams are just on TikTok and Twitch, but the live streams are also on YouTube, as well as all of the episodes and other series. So our previous Team Lotus series, but also I have, as I say, the Flip the Grid series coming very soon, where we're putting the drivers that finished in, say, the best team, so McLaren, we're flipping them, putting them in the Sauber. So as I say, Lando Norris and Piastri will be driving for Sauber, Hulkenberg and Bortoletto in the McLaren, Hamilton and Leclerc in the Williams, Sainz and Albon in the Ferrari. So that limited series is coming soon. That will only be on YouTube. So head over to there and subscribe. If you watched on YouTube, of course, do subscribe and check out the playlist. And yeah, super appreciate all the support, all the comments. Yuvu, thanks for the gift. Much appreciated, buddy, as always. And we're going to be back on Tuesday. So we stream this every Tuesday and Friday. So if you've jumped in for the first time, then do return on Tuesday, as we will kick off the 2026 season and see how we fare. And it will be Franco Colapinto and Zane Maloney in the car. So enjoy your weekend. If you're watching the Formula 1, then enjoy Monaco. I'm looking forward to it.